Hello there, this is Allison McDowell. This morning, Sherry Honkala and I staged an informational picket outside of the Total Impact Conference at the Convene Center, 30 South 17th Street in downtown Philadelphia. It was the second Social Impact Conference. We understand this as a poverty mining conference. It was a $1,100 a person to attend that event. So we were outside picketing with this literature. I have a talk coming up on May 9th, 2019 at the Wooden Shoe Bookstore. That's a week from today, Thursday, and I hope you can join us. We had some props that were prepared with the assistance of folks who are doing an occupation at the Philadelphia Housing Authority, Jen, Fredo, Cole, and Alicia. So we thank you for your help on the props. They are holding it down on Ridge Avenue, so we took this information to the streets with the things developed with their assistance, and this is how it went that morning.
Oh, hi everybody. So I finally finished getting my stuff put up. I'm here outside the Convene Center where the Total Impact Conference is happening today and tomorrow on the 13th and 14th floor, Dwayne Morris Plaza. I had a number of people come out very concerned about my sidewalk chalking, but I encouraged them that it was indeed legal and they could contact Civil Affairs over my protected free speech. I'll just sort of show you some of the things that I wrote. People power, not public-private partnerships. And then I've got my section on pro tip. You don't eliminate poverty by turning it into a global investment market. So pro tip. And I have a little information about the conference that's happening here in the building. And the purple's kind of hard to read, but I pointed out the opportunity zones are going to turbocharge gentrification. So those are the zones. It's a special track in this conference talking about how to maximize and leverage those investments. In Philadelphia, those areas are in very quickly gentrifying areas. Brewery Town, West Market Corridor, North Broad Street, and a little bit on along the I-95 corridor, big tax haven. So I pulled out my banners. Again, nothing about us without us. The thing about this conference up there is that it's $1,100 a pop to get in at the door. I think you could get discounts if you registered over the winter, but that's quite a substantial fee for folks in poverty, right? So we also, here's my other banner about the kids. This is more the ed tech stuff. The children are not their human capital data. So having some conversations. This is my little pop-up stand with all of the speakers. As we know, the What Works government projects, the Smart City projects, the human capital management projects started under former Mayor Michael Nutter. His wife, Lisa, is an impact investor with Sidecar Social Finance. She's working with Wharton. This is Andrea Phillips. Andrea, I gave her a Please Don't Put Preschoolers on Surveillance Play Tables flyer in Washington, D.C. Here we got the head of the Ford Foundation there, but clearly, you know, the lawyers are here, technology practice, Morgan Lewis. Once this stuff, these public-private partnerships, these pay-for-success partnerships happen, the law firms, they're going to be getting a lot of business writing all those contracts. We have stuff here is like, let's see, TIAA, that might be of interest to the teachers there. It's your pension being invested in poverty mining. First step staffing. Of course, we know that gig economy, putting low-income folks into sort of precarious work is part of that. So, you know, but we've got a lot. So, capital, foundations, Glenmead Trust, Boston. Of course, someone asked me if this is just in Philadelphia, and I said that there had been total impact events in Boston as well. So, anyway, I just had a long conversation with a guy who's in from New York, who is a Temple grad, who is an impact investor, and you know, was listening to what I had to say regarding issues of power and control and poverty. So I'm going to be doing some flyering. It looks like people aren't bothering me too much. I'm out here again. We're at 30 South 17th Street. We're just south of Market Street here, across from Liberty Place parking lot. So, you know, would love some company. Otherwise, I think registration for this starts like 8:30 to 9:30, I think, so it may be a little quiet until then, but we'll see. At least people will know. I've talked to some folks, actually quite a few folks from the building came out who are workers who didn't know what was going on and were really glad that I was here to tell them what was happening. So, you know, each one teach one. That's what we're trying to do here, and tune in later. Thanks. I actually have done the, all right, so I don't know. Now the police are here. They're reading my signs. I'm having some good conversations with folks. It's like, I don't know. This person doesn't look too happy. He was the one who I think called the police earlier. I said you should call civil affairs. I think they're probably getting upset because the actual conference attendees are coming now. But I just talked to a guy who was like, impact investing, hell no, we got to stop that. And he's from Manhattan, but he wasn't coming to the conference. So here you go. So we're getting some traction. But yeah, perfectly legal, not blocking the sidewalk. See, look at all that open sidewalk. It's just like they might have to read that you don't stop poverty by turning it into a global investment market. Have a nice conversation with a reporter about the Heckman equation. Most people don't know about the Heckman equation. But I would expect probably most of the folks who are in this $1,100 seat meeting up there somewhere that aren't the poor people know about the Heckman equation. Because Andrea Phillips knows about it because she was at the SIPR event last June, and I gave her the please don't put toddlers on the surveillance plea tables, but nobody really knows about the surveillance plea tables, which is why I'm mostly out here by myself, trying to let folks know. But most people who hear about it, even people who are impact investors, like when I sort of talk to them about, is it moral to turn people into data and gamble on their life, would have to agree that it actually isn't that moral. So here are the sponsors. It got a little messy. It was cold and windy last night when we were putting this together, but you can see, oh, it's trying to go away. Goldman Sachs, Lisk, Morgan Lewis, again, the lawyers are going to make out like bandits on these contracts. It would be nice if someone else was out here so I didn't have to try to hold my stuff going away and hand out flyers, but I don't know, there's a little scribbling furiously. But he asked me how long I was staying, and I said I didn't have a tent, but I don't know, maybe I should get a tent.
No, I don't want to stay yet.
Oh, you're not in it? So, alright, well, here I'm gonna, seems like they're, oh, yep, heading out. Oh, he's going back in. I guess he got the word, it's okay. Alright guys, well I'm gonna sign off for now. Bye to the police are heading off. I'm gonna hand out some more flyers. Thanks.
Okay, so Allison, what's going on?
So we're here at 30 South 17th Street, just south of Market in Philadelphia. The building behind me, or behind us, or in front of me, behind you, is on the 13th and 14th floor is a company called Convene, and it's a meeting space. It has capacity for like 300 people, so I don't know exactly how many folks signed up, but there's this event, Total Impact Philadelphia 2019. So this is the second annual event of the Good Capital Project. So they're going to use good capital to mine poverty for profit for global venture capital. So it's many venture capital companies, folks from the Federal Reserve, former Mayor Michael Nutter, folks from Goldman Sachs is a sponsor. Many law firms are sponsors because they're going to make out like bandits with, when they outsource public services to private operators under these pay-for-success contracts. So they're out there sort of having 2 days of discussions of mining poverty to increase their profit and create surveillance of the poor. And it's like, I think if you signed up in the winter, it was $700 something. Now if you walk in today, it's $1,100. $100 to get in. So clearly no poor people are up there unless they're maybe token poor people on 13 and 14 of Convene. And so I'm just out here today to try to raise awareness. I mean, folks are like, well, what are you trying? And I'm like, I think poor people need to know. In 2016, the Economy League of Greater Philadelphia issued a white paper saying we are going to be the Silicon Valley of impact investing. We have so much deep poverty. It's a mine of potential profit if we can just do this thing right. We're going to manage poverty for profit. And I'm here to say, like, you don't stop poverty if you turn it in a global investment market. You will never eliminate poverty if that's what you're going to do. It's logic. So people don't know, poor people don't know. I'm just showing up to contest the space. And I created last night with Jen and Fredo and Cole and...
Can you tell us what this is here?
So I printed off the website. This is an event that has 70 registered speakers. So 70, that's a lot of speakers for a 2-day event. It shows how much money. These are very powerful people with a lot of money. And these are just the speakers. These aren't the attendees. So it goes all the way around. We cut them out, and then we did a little arts and crafts outside of the PHA headquarters occupation that's going on. And we just want to make visible who folks are. Like, because if this is what you think is a good plan, people should know that this is what you're about. And then we should have a right to question that and say, well, maybe poor people don't think that this is a good plan, and we should come up with a better plan that isn't public-private partnerships, that isn't pay for success, that isn't data mining and predictively profiling poor people, and that empowers poor people and stops poverty.
What's wrong with profiling poor people?
You don't do that to people. You don't turn people into data. You don't put people in algorithms. You don't take bets on people's life and like have a home visit and start developing data profiles of people in this moment of big data and predictive analytics and machine learning and say, well, based on your zip code, based on your genomics, based on your family, past educational records, based on your test scores, based on your blood glucose level, we think when you're born you'll be a 3, maybe we get you to a 5, and let's gamble on it. And let's hook you into all the data of the social services and gamble on your life.
So how come nobody knows that this is happening right now with all these important people?
Well, the building was upset. They sent the police out. They finally left. They didn't really want me out here. I mean, we've connected. So the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign has been supportive of trying to get the word out. But it's very hard. I think people keep telling me it's too hard to understand. Allison, we just can't understand. It's too complicated. And I'm saying, okay.
You mean the general public is just dumb?
Well, no. I mean, I think that, well, one, academics read and write for other academics. They don't read industry things. 2, industry, you think industry is going to tell poor people this is what they have planned? They're not talking.
How much money is in all of this?
I mean, billions, trillions, I mean, lots. I mean, so at this point, and I'm not, but the way capital works, capital has to move. We have a lot of poverty. Global poverty, because this is being developed in the global south and in development aid and then being brought back here. We have global poverty. How does capital move? If people can't buy things, people don't have money to buy things. Well, essentially, you privatize public services, you securitize the debt behind those contracts, and then you make the people and their data be the thing you gamble on. So that people, even though they're not buying anything, just trying to live in a social service bureaucracy that is outsourced and tied to state surveillance and big data and machine learning.
And maybe not addressing the issues?
You're not going to stop poverty if you're betting on poverty. You're going to manage it. You might manage it so it's a little less oppressive, but you're still it's all going to be conditioned on everyone behaving and staying in their lane and staying in their place.
Is this a bipartisan effort?
Totally. It's totally bipartisan. I mean, my world is really upside down because I think in many respects, people are used to our understanding that we need to care for one another and that it's the responsibility of the public sphere to do that. Under Obama, continuing under Trump, has happened all the way back to Clinton and Bush and, even earlier than that probably. Government has been infiltrated, and you can swap people out in front, but if the machine running behind is the same machine and the bureaucrats running behind, and unless you have resources to take something even to the Supreme Court, and then what? You can't force people to follow the rules through legal purposes. I think people need to organize and people need to educate one another. because I went to an event of starter money for all of this called SIPRA, the Social Impacts Pay for Results Partnerships Act, in the Dirksen Senate building last June. It was a room of 250 people, packed, bipartisan. All the nonprofits are in on it. Like they're going to make money. It's horrible to work in a nonprofit. You're going to have to say to my people all the time, but their executives on it. The speakers were all Republican senators, Orrin Hatch. The panelists were all Obama policy wonks. They're all in on it. People and tell people, I think.
So you think that if more people understood what this whole poverty mining process is about, people might be moved to write about it, talk about it, and do something about it?
Yes. I mean, at this point, you have to educate people. You can't expect people to organize if they don't know what's happening. And I don't, like, the media isn't covering it because the media is part of the impact investment sphere. Like, the Solutions Journalism Network has now incorporated all of the mass media, even down to little podcasts, and be like, you're with the program, you're going to sell that poverty management is the new investment sector. This is your job, media. Like, but it's not just the New York Times, which started it, but it's like all the way down to like
progressive media?
Yes. I mean, they're like, okay, we're all going to be part of the same team. Like, we're all going to talk about poverty, but it's not about fixing poverty. It's not about eliminating poverty. It's about managing it in a data-defined way for the interests of venture capital, for the interests of all these people.
It makes sense to me, Allison, and I really appreciate you being out here. We'll check back in with you in a little bit. Let's pass out some flyers.
All right.
So that was my morning. Again, I am giving a talk on May 9th, 2019. The flyer is attached, so hopefully you can join us. If not, there's more information at my blog, which is wrenchinthegears.com. So stay tuned. I'm doing a lot of mapping around poverty mining in Philadelphia and the Global South and how it all interconnects. So thank you very much for your interest.